Bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa namo tassa bhagavato arahato Samma sambuddhassa buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi Dutiyampi buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi Dutiyampi dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi Dutiyampi saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi Tatiyampi buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi Tatiyampi dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi Tatiyampi saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi Pānāti pātā vēremani sikkhapadang samādhiyāmi Adinna dāna vēremani sikkhapadang samādhiyāmi Kāmesu miccācārā vēremani sikkhapadang samādhiyāmi Musāvādā vēremani sikkhapadang samādhiyāmi Surāmeraya majjapamā Dantana vēremani sikkhapadang samādhiyāmi Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu. Okay, brothers and sisters, today, the last day of making this discussion to end, and there are few things that we can discuss. And yesterday we discussed up to number 9, I think number 10, I think number 12 too, right? Yes. 12 also we discussed, right? So we'll start from number 13. Iti tang vijānāma jattamuso parabhavo sattamang bhagavā bruhi Kiṃ parabhavato mukaṃ jāti taddo danantando gotan tando cayo naro Sanyating atimanyiti tang parabhavato mukhaṃ. So this is the sixth cause of one's downfall. Venerable Sir, tell us the seventh cause of downfall. Then Buddha said, Jati taddo dhana taddo gota taddo cha yonaro sanyating atimanyiti tang parabhavato mukhaṃ. Jati tadd, dhana tadd, gota tadd. Here, jati means birth. Tadda means that proud, and jati, then dhana tadd. Dhana means wealth. Gota, gotra, Sanskrit gotra. Gotra means clan. So, people, they always think that jati tad, to be proud of birth. To be proud of birth means that what he is thinking, because of he was born as a human being, and also he is born such a, famous family, right? And then he thinks, I am the most powerful person. I am not just other beings. So I am totally different. I am a very special being. I am a very powerful being. So what he gains, he is gaining egoistic attitudes. Ego. We need to let go of ego, right? So he is gaining egoistic attitude of thinking of his birth. And also, dhana taddo. Dhana. Dhana means wealth. And the Buddha, he told us different types of wealth. Material wealth, of course, that we need to gain material wealth. Also, we need to gain spiritual wealth. Buddha uses word dhana. Dhana. He said, sila dhana. Sila means morality. Right? Morality, you need to consider as dhana. He used the word dhana. Chaga dhana. Charity. What we call spiritual wealth. Charity. And saddha dhana. Saddha means confidence. So that's also dhana. But that dhana is different from this dhana. Right? This is what he is talking about. Dhana of what we gain as materially, wealth. Wealth that we gain, we have a lot of properties and houses and money in the banks and and then he thinks that, well, I'm a rich person. So then he's gaining ego because of thinking I'm rich. So even though we are rich, we need to be humble, right? Smiling with people, smiling with everyone, right? And then sharing and having humbleness. When you are gaining material wealth, gain humbleness. When you are gaining material wealth, simultaneously you need to gain spiritual wealth. You have money, then you should have saddha, right? That means spiritual wealth, saddha dhana. Hiri dhana. Hiri means shame. Shame for what? Shame to do unwholesomeness. Oh, I don't want to destroy this being because it is shameful to do it. Oh, I don't want to molestate my child because it is shameful things, right? So you need to have a shame to do unwholesomeness. That is dana. And hiridana. Hiri means fear. Fear of doing unwholesomeness. So, I don't want to kill living beings because I fear of hell. Right? I don't want to do that. So your fear, then that fear blocking you to do of those unwholesome actions. Saddadana, hiridana, hiriyottapyandana, sutta, listening of Dhamma, also dana. Chaga, charity, chagadana, charity dana. And panya me sattamandana, prajna means wisdom, gaining wisdom is dana. So, Buddha didn't say only about material wealth, he also mentioned spiritual wealth. So, when you are having material wealth, you need to maintain that material wealth, plus you need to maintain your spiritual wealth. Then these two balance. Right? Then these two balance and is benefit for him, for others, and life after. Idanandati. He is happy in this life. Pechanandati, he will be happy next life. Ubayatanandati, he will be happy both this life and next life. Katapunyo, whoever doing those type of good karma, he will be happy. Right? That is, it can be either material happiness, spiritual happiness. So if you balance both, then you are having very good and complete life without any complex, without any difficulties in the life. So Gotattadu, clan. So I am from that clan. Remember I said yesterday how this caste system is started? Because Mahabrahma, he created from his mouth Brahmana. Yeah. Mouth cannot create unless vomiting, right? So Buddha rejected all the creations. Whoever said create, Buddha said no. Rejected creation. So Gotattadu, because of clan, they very proud. We came from that clan, rich background, well-known background, king's family, emperor's family, right? And Gautama Buddha's family. So they are gaining defilements because of thinking such way. So therefore, it is not, you should not to do or thinking of those about birth, wealth or clan. Sanyating ati manyeti. Sanyating ati manyeti. Manya, then what else we gain? We are discussing of number 4. So, mana, conceit, right? So, when people having those things, the birth and wealth and the clan, because of those things, they gain conceit, mana, right? So, once you gain conceit, mana, atimana, atimanyeti, atimanyeti means that the conceit, the higher type of conceit that you are gaining. Mana, atimana. Then what happened? It is downfalling the life, the person. And he doesn't care of his relatives, right? He doesn't care of his close friends and even whoever, surrounding neighbor, because he thinks that I am the highest in the society, I am highest in the family, I am highest in this clan, I am the richest in the area, neighborhood, right? So thinking such way, and instead of generating compassion and kindness, he is gaining conceit, and that is downfall of having such thoughts. We are discussing of number 14. It's almost finished now. Number 15. Let us discuss that one. Tihetang vijanam santamuso parabhavo atthemang bhagava bruhi king parabhavato mukhang itti duttho sura duttho akho duttho chayo naro laddang vinaseti tang parabhavato mukhang. Venerable Sir, this is the 7th cause of one's downfall. Please tell us the 8th cause of downfall. Ittidutto suradutto akudutto chiyonaro laddang vinaseti tampara bhavato mukha. What does it mean? Ittidutta. These 3 addictions to those 3 areas is the way to destroy your wealth. Right? Ittidutta, addicting to women. Now, suradutta means drinking, and akudutta, gambling. Who is following, who is committing those type of actions, laddang vinaseti. Whatever he gain, receive, salary, properties, everything will be destroyed. Why? Because ittidutta person, that means he is looking for many women, and he needs to spend money, right? He needs to buy property, he needs to support them, and what the higher the money that he gained, not enough to do such things, and then losing his money, sometimes losing his properties. And suradutta, drinking, because alcohol doesn't make any sense for the person to gain spiritually or materially. It is a way that destroying of wealth plus his own body, brain cells, kidneys, lungs, liver. Those are direct effect places of taking drinks and drugs and alcohol. So therefore, you should away from those things. And akkudutta, gambling. When people go to gambling, sometimes they drive car to Las Vegas. That's a famous gambling place, right? And then they park there and they go inside, and then they play machines, jackpot machines, and and so finally he lose all the money. Now he's looking to get some money. Finally he sell the car, right? He sell his car. He thinks that, I lost some money today, so let me try whether I sell this car and try to regain losing money. This true stories. I mean, people, they do such things. Yeah, it was a newspaper, some incident. And because they addicted too much, and they don't know the way to control, they don't know the limitation, the limit, and once they enter, and then they keep playing, which is danger. You're from Sri Lanka? Yeah. Okay. So, there are horse race, right? Horse race, and different type of casinos, and jackpot machines, gambling. And there are many. And some people, they are very rich. they become poor in one night, right? I remember that when I was in Los Angeles once, and one Cambodian boy, he came at around midnight, not midnight, around 3, 4 o'clock, and he knocked my window because door was closed. And I looked, and strange that, someone knocking this time. I said, please open the door. I opened the door, and he came over. He got this bunch of money. I asked, how did you get this money? Oh, I don't know to tell you. And I will tell you tomorrow, he said. And okay, that's fine. And then I closed my door, and then I slept. Next day, he came again at the same time. He knocked the window because he afraid of, the high priest, wake up. So he knocked the window because I'm a foreigner. So I opened the door. He was very upset. I asked, why are you worried? Oh, I'm very upset now. Yesterday, day before, the day that he came first, he won $10,000 into casino. Then he told me the story. Then he took that $10,000 to make it more, then he lost it everything. He came empty-handed next day. This is the nature of gambling, right? If you know the limitation, some people, they very smartly they play, So, some people, they don't. They put a lot of money into the stock market. They lost. In 1996, in Atlanta, one of the stock player, and he lost $100,000 in a day. So, it's a lot of money. He lost $100,000 per day, in one day. And he was very desperate. And what he did, he took a gun. He went to stock market. He shot around 10 people, 10 or 13 people, I think, killed because of he lost that money. It is not those people's fault, right? And then he came home. He had 2 children. They put into bathtub. He got a claw hammer, and then hit their head and killed them at the bathtub. And then he killed his wife, and he went to his car and then ran away somewhere in hiding, and then he shot himself. So this is just happened because of losing that money. You see, the downfall is very practical. You can see it immediately, right? You can see it from your naked eyes. It happened. Same as Suradutta, drinking. You are losing money, you lose your consciousness, you lose your family, you lose your good name, right? And plus, you lose your healthy life. And then you are unable to live longer because of you are destroying yourself. So laddam vinasati, all the money, whatever we gain, destroying because of that. Number 70. Sorry? Yeah?
This Sura Tattva, can you also refer to drugs?
Including everything. Whatever makes you heedlessness.
Drug,
oh, you mean the medicine?
Yeah.
What drugs mean? Drugs can be Panadol.
Drugs,
Heedlessness, yeah. Those all included. Whatever makes you.
So the meaning of this,
including everything. Yeah. Whatever makes you heedlessness, so we can consider them as Sura. Yeah. What happens when you are taking drugs? You cannot see through. You cannot see reality. You cannot see the right. And you cannot, understand reality. So that's why. And you can recognize your own parents, own children, right? Some people, they act like animals. They go to work with They go to work morning 2 feet, come in the evening 4 feet. Right? So, not only just walk in, saying all the harsh words, all bad words, keep saying, and then, beating up children, wife, throwing things, dishes, TV, and not only just himself, destroying himself, but he's destroying actually, his own household things too. And number 17th, Iti tang vijanama Attamuso parabhavo Navamang bhagava bruhi King parabhavato mukang Sehi dharehi santunto Vesyasu padinsati Dissati paradaresu Tang parabhavato mukham. Venerable Sir, this is 8, and please tell us the 9th. Sehi dharehi santutto Vesyasu padissati Dissati paradaresu tang parabhavato mukham. Not to be contented with one's own wife. He's not happy with his own wife and looking for other women. Vesyasu padissati, dissati paradaresu. And then he is associating other wives, prostitutes. This is cause of downfall. So it is very clear, because this is the main reason of starting or beginning of family problems. Breaking up peace and happiness, harmony in the family. This is the main reason, main cause. Because once they marry and they are not living together, they are not happy each other, and then they are looking for husband looking for other wives, other ladies, and wives looking for other men, then the family unity, boom, and no longer peace and harmony in the family. And starting of these problems, which is downfall, act for downfall thing. So today, why many problems arises in the society? Because of drugs, gambling, and the addicting to many women's, and then these type of things are the most problems that arising in the society, and all the court cases, most of the court cases, and even murdering his or her own husband, wife, because of these things. And then children also become undisciplined children. You cannot discipline them well because the parents are not good example to children, and children follows wrong things, wrong ways. It is bad.
So in this stanza, Buddha stressed again on the women, the relationship with others.
Yes. Yes, because what Buddha said, if you marry, husband and wife, and he categorized 4 types of family in the society. He said there are family, he called it chavo chavaya sadding sangasati. Chavo chava. Chava means death, inactive. There are family, husband and wife, just like dead family. You mean they are not active. Inactive means they don't do any wholesome things. Their words are all wholesome, unwholesome. Their actions are unwholesome, akusala. Their thoughts are anger, hatred, delusions, and so forth. There's nothing that we can consider as wholesome. And both of them are. They don't go to temple, they don't practice, and they are not generous, and they are not moral, and they don't cultivate anything. They are downfall people. They don't do anything. So Buddha considered them as dead people, dead family, dead husband and wife. They are living but inactive. And the second family, he said, Chavo Devya Sadhi Sangasati. Husband is like a dead person. He is inactive. He's very lazy. He's having sloth and torpor, sleepiness, like we said, nidasi, right? And he's very inactive. Husband. Wife very energetic, creative, and he's doing wholesome attitudes, wholesome actions, verbally, physically, mentally. And he's very wise, well organized, house and everything's clean. Husband, he doesn't do anything. When he eat, he doesn't know to wash his dishes. Food everywhere, spit everywhere, right? Unclean, dirty. Buddha said, that family, it is good in one side. I mean, wife's side is good, but it is not still good communications each other. And it is not really a happy family. Chao Devya Saddhin Sangasati. Devya means that deity, like he's like a divine person, like a Devi. And third family, he said, Devo Chava Saddhin Sangasati. Wife, very lazy, not clean, and she doesn't wash clothes, dishes, she doesn't know to clean the house, cockroaches, leftover foods, smelling clothes, right? Unwashed clothes everywhere, shoes and everything's that trash everywhere. It is very unpleasant looking. But husband, well organized. He's a very calm person, charm person, and very much of concentrating, focusing, wise person, well clean. That family good in one side, but not totally. The happiness is not complete there. That is not a happy family. Fourth family, he said, Devo Devya Saddhin Sangasati. Husband and wife, both like a divine being. They are very happy and they discuss each other whenever the things to do, things to be done. And well clean, energetic, and generous, compassionate, friendly, caring, sharing children with them. So it is well complete family. And that family is the happiest family, husband and wife in the world. So if those qualities are not there, we cannot expect. So now you are thinking of, right? I need to have that kind of wife. So it is good that you know it. Right. Okay, so that's how we, because Buddha is very much of a considerate of family life. When you married husband and wife, you need to maintain the qualities, duties towards husband to wife, wives to husband, and so forth. It is needed. Okay, can we move to next? Number 19. Tihi tang vijaname navamuso parabhavo dasamang bhagava brui king parabhavato mukhang atita yombano poso Aniti timbaruntaning tassa issana supati Tang parabhavato mukhang. Venerable Sir, we just heard of ninth. Please tell us. 10. Atita yobbano poso. Being past one's youth, I mean the old man, to take a young wife, because he's an old man, and he wants to marry a young wife, like a 60-year-old man looking for a 25-year-old girl to marry. And what happened? Wife, and to be unable to sleep for jealousy of her, because you see how the Buddha is looking at every section, every side, he's just giving some advices because of the family problems arises because of, it's not only one reason, one cause. There are many causes. And what happened when the 60-year-old man married a 20-year-old girl, and he's now unrest. He cannot rest because he always is doubt of her. He always thinking that, I'm now old, and he's just thinking whether my wife will take by other man, right? And looking for someone. And he just always, go to sleep, and he cannot sleep. He wakes up at night, and he look whether the wife is there. Right? Then he goes to work, and he always chases whether someone look at her, right? She's look at someone, right? So, because of not matching this age, and always having this type of mental unrest, which is cause of downfall, right? And he's not happy. Both of them are not happy because of the unrest. So therefore, that's why Buddha said matching is needed, important. Age matchings, ideas, and culturally, attitudes, those are needed. Sometimes your religion. You are in one religion, other one religion, and then at the beginning, no, we don't care, and then they're just having very sweet words. Once they married, I want my children to follow my religion. Then you said, no, I want my children to follow my religion. Now this argument starts, right? And then the conflict starts like this. And this is the areas that problems arising in the family. And then that affect to children, affect to their family unity, affect to their peace and harmony. And finally, they divorce, right? They either divorce or maybe, murder or anything that can happen because of the one thing, little thing enough to start a problem. Little one word enough to start an argument. That word, that argument can cause us to death or murder, which is, that's why Buddha said, Kutari jayate mukanda. Our mouth is similar to axe. Axe can cut down trees. Why? Because you can cut down unity, peacefulness, harmony, togetherness. Everything you can, family unity and everything you can cut down by one words. Because one words create many problems. So therefore, he said, you have to watch your words, whatever you say. Before you express word, you have to look ahead. Once I say this, whether it's going to affect someone, whether it's going to affect for the society, to wife, children, family, friends, or whoever, and make sure if it is affect, or if it is harsh word, if it is unwholesome words, do not express. That's his message. So, that is very good advice from the Buddha, right? So looking for suitable partner with suitable age. Shall we move to next? Is there any questions about that? Is that clear? Yes.
Sorry, this time you mentioned the 4 types of families.
Hmm.
Wise, unwise, and both. Then the best is wise, wise. But in the world, it's not perfect matching. So in most of the cases, you fall between very contradictory, positive, negative.
Yeah.
So what will you advise? For example, I have colleagues who come to me complaining about his wife. So he brought that anger to his job. So what should I do? To give a piece of advice to him. And he told me that he wanted to divorce his wife.
Well, that's true, because we cannot find right matching. It is the most difficult thing. It just sometimes, just like, you are trying to balance the mustard seed on the needle. It's a very difficult thing. And it is why, because looking at all these things and, matching and is very difficult. But some sort of thing that you can discuss and, and you can come to conclusion and come to some kind of settlement, so some sort of things, but some kind of very aggressive ideas, if they have, is unable to come into a conclusion, right? Come to end. So we cannot expect 100% anything, right? You cannot expect 100% from your wife or husband, because we know family's problem, because people always telling us their problems, right? So husband comes and telling us, wife come and telling us. So we know their problems because of little thing enough for them to start a problem. So in West, most people, they live together and try to understand each other longer time. Sometimes they don't married. They have children, and they are just step down or any time to move away. If anything happen, little thing enough, next day, divorce. Very quick. And they are not, this is my tradition, my parents will not like it, and my children, if to my children, they don't think nothing. It's few words, one thing, few things enough, and then they decide. So they don't have patience. But some, like Asian people, they always, they obey husband, ladies obey husband, and they, because they don't have a choice, and sometimes husband beaten up, but still they try to, overcome it, try to be patient and, try to stay together. And they're thinking of children and so forth. So it is a kind of in different attitudes in the societies, West and Europe and Asia and so forth. So we cannot find exact matching. But when you talk, and then you can find some ideas, and you can get some ideas, what type of ideas they have. And then in that way you can judge this person is such and such, and this person can be in such and such. So you can make some kind of judgment to get together. And otherwise, it is very difficult. To be a divine place is very difficult, right? And as a family, living as a divine, like a unity, togetherness, understanding each other and patience. But there are some families like that. We have seen those families. They're very well, both husband and wife, they understand each other, they're caring each other, and they don't do anything secretly, husband to wife, wife to husband, and they are very focused of what they are doing. They're well doing those things, and so most of the things that you can discuss and come to settlement. The problem is people, they do not know the qualities. For Buddhists, they do not know Buddha's teaching. If they know Singalovada Sutra, right? If they know Mangala Sutra, if they know PARABHAVA Sutra, and they know whatever is going to happen, immediately he knows or she knows this is a downfall act. This is unblessing things, unblessing act. This is not blessings. And this is against the qualities of husband or wife. So immediately he knows and he can overcome it. And otherwise, they are not learned people and they never heard, and then they are having problems. So
these conclusions, they have to attack the Dhamma talk and Singalovada Mangala Sutra.
Yeah.
But then, like what Reverend said is, you assess your partner, it's good to assess that. But is it more often than not a right beginning, okay, is equated to a wrong ending? Because along the path, things change, people change.
Right.
And which is sometimes changes are uncontrollable. I mean, like an impermanence, that kind of thing.
Right.
So it's always a right beginning equating with the wrong ending.
Yeah.
It's very unfortunate that the cycle changes.
Right. Because of impermanent nature, it can be changed any time.
Anything can change.
But
even assessing a person right.
yeah,
That's why I say the right
at the beginning, they're very nice.
Equated to a wrong ending.
That's why I said, before they married, they don't eat alone, right? They always eat together. And they are, always together. Wherever they go shopping together. When they married, I'm lazy, you go and shopping. Right? And before, until they come to, marriage level, they are very friendly. After that, then it's starting off quarrel. Why? Because things now, because they can experience now, sometimes financial problems, right? Sometimes religion, sometimes traditions. There are many causes. Sometimes there are mother-in-law, father-in-laws, both. They are causing some problems. The husband doesn't like mother-in-law and father-in-law. Wife doesn't like husband's father and mother. So the problems now they are accumulating after they marry, get together. Then they
no longer two person.
Yes.
After marriage is no longer two person.
Right.
Beginning is always two.
Yeah.
After that,
Then the first, they discuss, I don't left you anywhere, and we always together. Right after marriage, after a few months, they have a financial problem, right? Or you go abroad, I can take care of it. And he goes to other country, right? And then he is now alone. So everything change. Whatever they plan, discuss, it cannot be succeed because of lack of the needs. Whatever they need, cannot find. Housing problems, financial problems, family problems, children problems, and food and everything now arising. But for rich people, they don't have those kind of financial issues, but they have some other issues. Maybe mother-in-law, father-in-law problems, right? And wife wants her mother and father to stay with her, and husband doesn't like it, right? So then they're having this kind of problems. It's very difficult to find, as you said, it is not easy to find right partner. I don't know to scare you. Yeah. But always is better to discuss. If they don't discuss, then there's a problem. It's always, I have seen some families are very nice, they're very friendly, just like a brother and sister, and just like mother and father, and they are very nice. And we have seen those families; they don't have any problems. But we have seen some families always problems. Sometimes I woke up till 12 or 1 o'clock. Somebody come and telling about the problems. So because of their stress, they need to tell someone. So they cannot tell anybody else. So they come to us. So we know more than anyone's family problems.
So what is Reverend's advice when it comes
Sorry?
so when they come and see you with the dead,
Uh-huh.
so what is Reverend's advice?
Well, we never tell them to divorce or stay away. We always try to calm down. To try to understand each other, and we try to bring them together, and we talk to them individually. It depends. The problems. Sometimes they say, because of one friend, her friend came over home. Her girlfriend that he used to, we went to school together, and she just come home and staying for training or something. This problem arises.
That's where the problem starts.
Yeah, and I told him, well, this is for temporary. She came over to training program, and let her complete that. And she's not going to stay there. She married. She has husband, children, and why you worry? But some people, they have that kind of attitudes that they don't have a patience and they doubt very much. That's the problem. So we try to give them positive advices, and we try to tell them not to divorce because of if you tell immediately that divorce, in other party, if they know it, they get mad at us. So he is the one actually divorcing us, So, so we always giving advices to be together and try to our place and try to discuss with us, and don't keep anything inside, and try to speak out. And then you have to think about your children, their future. If you fight like this, and then you are giving them bad signal to your children, bad example, So those kind of things that we are always telling them. 21. Iti tang vijanam dasamoso parabhavo eka dasamang bhagava bruhi king parabhavato mukhang. Venerable Sir, I heard of 10th. Please tell us 11th. Now Buddha is telling, Itti sondhing vikirining purisang vapita disang isariyasming tapapeti tang parabhavato mukhang. Itti sondhing. To place in authority a woman given to drink and squandering, or man of a like behavior, is cause of one's downfall. So here in talking about bad lady, right? So he likes very much of meat and fish and drugs, alcohol. She addicted to those things. So she is addicted to such things too much, and he or she throwing their money for drugs and for unwanted things. And what happened if you gave them a job in treasurer, duty as a treasurer? Because before we give in a job, we have to look at her or his background, what kind of background he or she has. If she's a very addicted person to drugs and alcohol. And if you are giving that type of very important place to control, so it is downfall. In here, what is Buddha telling? You need to give a right job to right person. And you need to make sure, check that person's behavior and attitudes. If he is a very drug addicted person or alcoholic person, you gave a job in a liquor shop, right? Morning to evening his job is drinking. When people come, he sleep or he knock down. They come and take alcohol bottles without paying money, right? So he's not a suitable person. And it is not encouraging of doing that, but this is example. And if you are giving wrong person authority to control, it can be a country, right? Then he destroy the country. It can be office. It can be a temple. It can be any place. If you're giving authorities to a wrong person, addicted person, too many, and who is doing unwholesomeness more than wholesomeness, so it is danger. You shouldn't do that.
Isn't this a little judgmental in the sense that you imply a person cannot change for better?
Yes.
I mean, doesn't mean a thief is born. Because no one is born a thief, okay? The person will have a thief along the way.
Yeah.
But things can happen between the day he's a thief and the day he dies.
Right.
We can change.
Yeah, can change.
So it's not a little judgmental.
Yeah, it can change, and even even some people who he's not a thief and he's a very having right livelihood attitudes.
Even a good person
it can change if you are given a place like that, and can be changed. Because why is changing? Because his understanding.
It just means that people change.
Yeah, people changing, but addicting to certain things because of, and he's not a learned person. He's not a well cultivated person. That's why he's addicting to things. That's why he easily change. Otherwise, if you cross that, become to supramundane level, then his attitude's not going to change, right? Because he's already, he already crossed over the dangerous places, dangerous paths. So he's now in a safe place. Until that, we call putajjana. Until that, whatever you offer, whatever you gave as authority to do certain things, can be changed. Yeah. It can be changed. Very nice, innocent person become president. Right? At the end of his term, he will become the most corrupted person. Right? At the beginning, he's very nice, very loving, caring person. But at the end, he out from the office as a notorious president in the history. Right?
The right person, like I said, impermanence, the right person will not remain right to the end.
Yeah, right, that's true. Sometimes wrong person turn out as a right.
We've seen people drug addict, they overcome
Right.
and become something.
Yeah, at the beginning, drug addicted, and then I
So
met.
when here implying that you do not give authority to women when a woman covers a drug, but then are you not implying that the person can change himself? So when the person is given certain authority, for example, people can respond positively to that kind of responsibility, and people can change.
Yes, people can change, but not all of them. It depends, how much he or she has learned and how much he has way of controlling things, which is,
So this Tarzan is basically on the management.
Actually, this is Buddha giving very simply that when you are offering a job, right, and he's just simply giving some idea what you need to look for as a background check, right? Whether he's a qualified person or not, and he's just giving some because this is for social development. This idea, this PARABHAVA Sutra is very much of social development, social cultivation. So he's just giving some idea for if you want to protect your business place, right? So you need to hire right person, right people, right? That's what he's just simply saying.
So he didn't touch on the business sense.
Yes, right. Yeah, that's a good thing because Buddha, is not only talking about nirvana and going to the path, and these are the very beautiful things that, first that you need to build up your social and economic level up to in a righteous society, which is important. So number 23. Iti tang vijānāma ekādasamo parābhavo tvādasamang bhagavā bruhi kiṃ parābhavato mukhang appa bhogo mahatanho Katti jayati kuli soca rajjang pattayati tang parabhavato mukhang. Venerable Sir, we just heard of 11th downfall thoughts. Please tell us 12th one. Appabhogo mahatanno katti jayate kule. To be of noble birth with vast ambition and of slender means and to crave for rulership, this is cause of downfall. So what here is Buddha is explaining, your ambition, regarding your ambitions, your hopes and wishes to be. Sometimes you don't have any ways of to be a president, right? You don't have a background for it, and you don't have qualifications for it. You don't have any support. But at the beginning and till die, you have only one main aim: to be a president, right? To be a president in China, right? Or America, which is very difficult, right? Many people, and it's very difficult task. I mean, we can argue whether, why not, if Obama came and why not other people cannot. But see whether he's a qualified person. And he cannot learn, study. Right? He's a very dumb and dull person. And he's having big ambition to be a president in China or United States. Right? He has very little. He doesn't have money. He doesn't have supporters. Just having little and wishing much. You are having little chance, but you are looking for, this is called dreaming. In Sinhala we call ahase, maliga, right? We are just building a palace in the sky. So that's the wishes. So here is just simply saying that having ambition to be king or president, try to be authority, first authority. And for example, some people, they don't have a good voice of singing, right? And he's always day and night, he's thinking, I want to be a singer.
But the one can train.
Huh?
The one that can train.
Can train, but today now can train, right? But in the Buddha's time, we didn't have any method of training, but today, of course, you can do it. But at least you have to have some basic, skills and qualifications to be such a person. And you don't know anything about math. You cannot learn math, you cannot remember, you're always wrong, but your ambition is to be a engineer, right? Or learn computer science, so you need very much of math. It's really a math. And you try to learn, and you can argue, well, why not? And you try hard and learn, but it takes a lot of time. The skillful person, for him, it takes little time to reach that goal. Unskillful person, it takes lifetime. And then at the end, 60, 80, 90, still is not engineer. Right? So sometimes he wish, even before I die, a day before die, I will become engineer. Right? That kind of idea, is what he's giving. And you need to find the way that you can be happy. You need to find the way that you can make money. So that's what we need to look for. And otherwise, we are doing this and that, and we are not completing anything. And finally, we are having a miserable life. It's almost end, eh? Finish. Ete parabhave loke pandito samvekkiya Ariyo dassana sampanno salokang bhajate sivanti. So knowing well these causes of downfall in the world, the noble sage, endowed with insight, shares a happy realm. So
I have a question about this.
Yes.
The last phrase is by Buddha or by the Dhamma?
the last one?
Yeah.
No, this is a Buddha's message. Because this is a conclusion.
So is the Buddha's conclusion first?
According to because Deva, he doesn't have this type of knowledge to say. And according to these details, Aryodasana Sampanno, seeing the noble sage, and so endowed with insight. Insight means that, gaining insight. And so it is, at the end, looking for happy realm, happy place. So insightful person is going for, nirvana. Even he touches that place, and is insightful person. When you insightful person, that means that you understand this anicca dukkha anatta. Because in order to gain insight, you need to look at anicca dukkha anatta. Then you gain insight. So once you gain insight, then happy realm, it can be happy state. The ultimate happy state is nirvana. So either it can be that state or even before that, and become noble sage, noble one.
No, I mean it's the number 25.
Yeah,
Is it by the Buddha?
this should be by the Buddha. Yeah, because it doesn't say anywhere is who's saying it. But according to the pattern, you think that maybe Deva is saying that. But this conclusion normally doing by the Buddha, because the Deva is simply ask questions. Buddha is the one answered. So this one is conclusion, sensa, and should be given by the Buddha. Yeah. Otherwise, Deva shouldn't have this type of knowledge to tell, because he's in this sensa is giving very much of rich. Yeah, it says that, in this world, who's a wise person and understand of this Arya Jnana, this means this noble path, understand this noble path, and he's an insightful person, and then he'll be in happy realm.
So the Buddha said the summary that by understanding the 12 causes of bad downfall, your life will be secure.
Can you see that again?
By understanding these 12 causes of man's downfall, that means the human life will be secure. That means will be in the peaceful state.
Yeah.
Not Himalaya.
Because if when we looking at all these details, it's just like a Mangala Sutta. Gradually, you are doing social works, and then gradually you gain insight, and finally you follow a noble path and become blissful state, into a blissful state. And the same thing in Karaniyametta Sutta. When you are practicing loving kindness, and finally his wish is, I will not looking for another birth. That means in Nirvana. So as well as this sutta has same method. So someone is following these things that you are observing for precept, you are following a noble path, and it gives some of message. And it how we understand the last one. The last one is saying is the noble sage. Noble sage, and then that wise person, noble person, he understands this well, and he becomes a noble person at the end. Whoever doing this is not a one lifetime thing, maybe, right? This is a gradual training, because you are having family life and social work, social attitudes, and helping each other, and having good family life with the children, and those are things that just giving like a worldly happiness.
From what I can see from this sutta, when I compare with the Mangala Sutta, I found out the first verse is saying as the Mangala, which is associated with a wise person.
True. That's the beginning point. You need to associate wise, not to associate foolish. And if you associate foolish, not associate wise, so then the track going to be cracked one. It's not right to follow.
So it seems that, because I do compare it, it's almost the same with Mangala Sutta.
Yeah.
But of course, Mangala Sutta is with more details, more explanation, because it's very long sutta.
Right.
This is a summary.
Yeah, because this is actually, if he has more, Buddha give more. If Deva was satisfied, and if he, maybe not timing enough, If Buddha asks Venerable Sir, I heard 12, can you tell 13? So then Buddha tells something else, Because Dhamma is huge, there are many things that he can tell. And then finally even Buddha can tell about 4 Noble Truths, 8 Noble Paths, and karma, rebirth, and foundations of mindfulness and loving kindness, all he can tell if we keep asking.
So Buddha leads to the 12.
Yeah, because it seems that they didn't continue, and then if he continue, maybe going to be a big sutra, long sutra, then it should be in Digha Nikaya there.
But I see it's complete actually. It's complete, cover everything.
Yeah, it is.
Cover
Yeah,
family.
because here is actually completing of most of the physical unwholesome actions that is touching those unwholesome physical actions, that you should refrain from those physical actions. Surameria, Kamesa Michachara, Dinna, Dana, and Panatipata, and all those. So, here it doesn't say much about words, unwholesome words, but it's including,
Here is all about
This is more about family unity, and how to build up a better family, and then how to understand, the way of living happily, and those are most important things that is explaining in this sutra.
it's like everything about the family.
Yeah, most of the verses, if you're looking at, and about taking drugs and how this family break up, and then losing money and so forth. So those are the things much of here explaining.
Why the deity, the first thing the deity will ask the Buddha about is what causes the deity the Deva to ask Buddha?
Well, they call in Samyutta Nikaya there is called Devata Samyutta. Devata Samyutta is all what deity said. That's the one section called Devata Samyutta, all about what deity said. And we, in Buddha's teaching, we have Buddha Bhasita, Buddha's teaching, Savaka Bhasita, the disciples' teachings, Deva Bhasita, deities' teachers. So, when Buddha taught certain things, the Venerable Sariputta, Moggallana, the other Venerable, another those Venerables taught certain things. And some Devas came and told, and Buddha approved. But this one not Deva Bhasita, this one just asked questions and Buddha answered. But there are some sutras completely, we call Deva Bhasita, the deities told Venerable Sir, this is right. Buddha said, yes, that is right. So he approved. There are certain sutras, Devata Samyutta in Samyutta Nikaya.
I was thinking why the Devas ask this question. What causes
Why reason?
What causes
Maybe he has seen, he has some experience. He has seen some kind of, problems, that people are having. I mean, he has seen some kind of downfall, things that going on in the society, and then he wanted to clarify, and he wanted to learn from the Buddha, and just out of compassion towards others, and he wanted Buddha to explain to the society. Maybe it's common things, some common things that he saw, and then he wanted to tell Buddha to get real answer to those problems.
the Deva always asks is a Sakka or
No, deities, there are many deities. It can be an Alpesaka deity, Mahesaka deity, there's a powerful deities, lower type of deity. So, it doesn't say which kind of deity, it just say deity. It doesn't say any name, so, anything. It's a deity.
So it's very unique. Why the deities will ask these questions to the Buddha? Why not the lay person or the reverend will ask?
Lay people, maybe they are not smart enough.
Not reached the stage of enlightenment to ask. But rather, looking at this, the fifth downfall,
First one.
I don't understand, the fifth downfall,
Fifth one.
To deceive by falsehood, Brahmana or ascetic. Why specifically targeted at Brahmana or ascetic? I mean, if you deceive anybody else is also... any particular reason that...
No, because it's listed as them, because those are actually worthy people at the time, right? But it just simply Buddha said that don't deceive worthy people because it makes more bad karma than others, because you are cheating worthy people, you are making more karma, more bad karma than others. So that's why he just mentioned about the Brahman and ascetics. Because in the society used to be a believing of Brahmana and ascetics, ascetics life used to be more than today. So that's why they use them particularly. But we need to apply for everyone. Because we don't have, when we're looking at Buddha's teaching, we are not trying to say single out, well, Buddha said about only, Brahman and ascetics. And then for, cheating others is okay, So it just giving some, he cannot list all of them, right? Just simply giving just a few. And then next we need to add, like the first Dhamma Desana, Dhammacakkappavattana Sutra. And Buddha gave very brief explanation. Jati-dukkho, Dharabdukkho, Vyadi-dukkho, Maranam-dukkho, and so forth. And he didn't explain what is jati at that sutra. But in Satya Vibhanga Sutta, Venerable Sariputta, he explains what is jati, jati, sanjati, okkanti, and what is jara, jara, jiranata, kandichang, valitavata, and so forth. So he giving in details. So if he didn't give any detail, later on somebody may ask, well, Buddha said jati, but he didn't say what is jati means, he didn't explain. And Venerable Hariputta completed what Buddha said. So, another thing that normally when you read sutra, Buddha delivered the sutra to monks, bhikkhave. Then somebody may ask, well, this one is delivered to monks, so it doesn't apply to us, right? It doesn't mean that, because he delivered, because monks are always sitting in the front. So, normally you call their name first. When you have a meeting with the president there, first you call Mr. President, right? Then Mr. Prime Minister. So that's how you gradually, calling their name. And similarly, that in front, gathered by monks and nuns, and he say bhikkhave or bhikkhu. Then he delivered the sutra to bhikkhu. And Four Noble Truths delivered to 5 ascetics. And then somebody can say, well, that's for the ascetics. So it doesn't apply to us. So, because this Buddha's teaching is for everyone, not only for particular. So, and similar way we need to think, whatever he says here. So he's just putting some few things there. So we need to add other things. We need to add more into this. Today we have more downfall acts, right? Buddha here, he doesn't explain much. But today we have more downfall things, so we can add them. So we can add and make a, additional, another downfall list, right? We can say that, Buddha said this parabhava and downfall list. So now we are adding another downfall list, so we can make it complete, modern downfall list, right? Because it's complete, but that it's always is open, so you can add things.
So this sutta should be recommended to all the laymen before they get married.
Before and after.
Even after, yeah.
Before and after.
Yeah, because then you need to keep the family unity and peacefulness. So you need to follow this too.
So actually what the Bhante usually advice give to those parish couple that come for wedding registration, ask for blessing, what the Bhante usually give?
counsel. How you counsel?
Yeah, well, normally we explain Sigaluvada Sutra, the duties, husband to wife, wife to husband, and then the Chava Sutra just explain, and then we encourage them to follow principles, Buddhist principles, and how to taking care of children, and how to be happily, and then you need to bring your children to temple and teach them Dhamma education, and you need to be that education too, and so we are giving some kind of insightful advices to them, and then don't argue, don't fight, when little thing happen, and don't get mad, try to be mindful and try to overcome anger, hatred and delusion, and giving some sort of idea and thoughts. And then making blessings, giving blessings means that giving some those fruitful ideas for them to follow. Okay?
So is it advisable to ask those who have marriage problem to refer back to this sutta?
Somebody keep thinking of marriage. Must be, I know you keep asking for marriage.
Yes.
Because in modern days, now a lot of people, after you get married, you ask for, you talk short really, basically you don't like each other, the first one to cut divorce, break up.
Yeah.
Because they don't understand the value of a family, they don't understand their duties as husband and wife.
Yeah, that's the thing that we should teach them. Yeah.
And they don't understand why it caused the downfall of their relationship.
Yeah. I mean, we can use these advices, and then we can add, and we can make it like a modern way of, modern words, and explaining it more effective way to the people. Sometimes once you read these verses and the meaning, and probably it doesn't get real sense of idea. It's better to give a little more deeper and more explain with the stories, then it will affect much.
But Sister, do you have any questions? You just joined our class. Any questions?
අද මේ පළවෙනි වතාවට දාවේ. පළවෙනි වතාවට දාවේ. Okay. Okay. So is it not anything else? So can I end the program?
Are there any questions to ask?
So I think during the sutta chanting, I noticed, okay, for example, on top of E, this is sort of like staff, and as I, so I on top, so like a diamond. So when we need to stress that sounds, like for instance, 6, Nida Sili,
Nidda Sili.
Saha Sili.
Nidda Sili, Sabha Sili.
So then the SA Sa, there's no sign, no cap, top. And then the Saha Sili, the bar with cap on top, the A.
Yeah, well, when we
For example, when we need to stress it, for example, I will always put a very short note.
yeah.
But for this, ni is short. The case is long.
Nidda Sili, it is just non-stress da.
We will stress that.
Non-stress. There's no stress for da.
No stress.
Yeah.
No need to stress.
Nidda Sili. And Sabha. Bha has stress. Bha. Sabha means that company. So in that word has stress. Yeah, if you write just Sabha, it is not right word. Because in Pali, when you write in Pali, it is important to stress word, H always used for stress. H, letter H. H, sabha, dha, and bha, and use stress words. And this is actually is Pali writing. So another example I can give you in Purisa Dhamma Sarathi. Purisa Dhamma Sarathi, when we read the Buddha's quality, Utipiso Bhagavana Samma Sambuddha Vijaya and so forth, and Purisa Dhamma Sarathi, we don't stress Dhamma Sarathi. If you say Dhamma Sarathi, Dhamma means Dharma, right? Dhamma means taming, Dhamane karna, taming. We are not saying Purisa Dhamma Sarathi. Then the meaning of the word totally change. Instead of taming and Purisa Dharma, and you can say making Dharma, but it doesn't give any sense. So always we need to use that H stress word, Purisa. Whenever the Pali word, if you see H, and then we know it is a stress word. Buddha Sili, Sabha Sili, because sometimes when Pali writing they don't make all the notes, and you have to use little symbol. Yeah, you need to use little symbol to make real sound of Pali. Otherwise people just, easily just write and they don't want to add symbol. And then people, they pronounce not right. And this one, we recite like Nidda Sili, Sabha Sili, Anuttha, not Anutta. Yeah, because it's stress, H, Anuttha. Uttana, Anuttana. Uttana vato, Uttana. Uttana means that, effort. Uttana. Anuttana. Anuttatacha yonaram. Nalaso kodha. You see kodha? Yeah, not kodha. This is a kodha. Kodha. Kodha panyana. Kodha is krodha. Krodha. It means that, evasive attitudes. Kodha panyana. PARABHAVA. Yeah.
These two are the compilers code.
Yeah. Kodha panyano.
So they have
PARABHAVA also the downfall, not PARABHAVA, PARABHAVA.
2 words.
Yeah, 2 words. PARABHAVA to Mukhang. Any more questions?
Any more questions? What we can add?
Okay. Now it's 10:13 already. Okay, thank you. And I've been here for 3 days, and we hope that we get some kind of fruitful idea of the sutra. And thank you for organizing this, and thank you for coming, and thank you for participating, and I wish you all the best wishes and good luck, and for you to continue of understanding Dhamma and following Dhamma. I wish you all the best wishes by the Dhamma, the power of the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha. And may your family, friends always receiving meritorious deeds for you to overcome misfortunes, problems and difficulties in this life, and finally may you all attain ultimate happiness of the Nirvana. Let us share merits of the departed. Idam ñātinang hotu sukhita hontu ñātayo. Idam ñātinang hotu sukhita hontu ñātayo. Idam ñātinang hotu Sukhita ontu ñātayo. Bhavatu sabbe mangalang rakkantu sabbadi. Sabbe buddhanubhavene sada sonti bhavantu te bhavatu sabbe mangalang rakkantu sabbe divata sabbe dhammanubhavene sada sonti bhavantu te Bhavatu sabba mangalang rakkantu sabba divata sabba sanghanubhavena sada sonti bhavantu te. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Buddham saranam gacchami Dhammam saranam gacchami Sangham saranam gacchami Sangham Saranam Gacchami Buddham Saranam Gacchami Dhammam Saranam Gacchami Sangham Saranam Gacchami Buddham Saranam Gacchami Dhammam